Welcome back, guys. This is John with the Knife Shop and Survival Outpost, and today we're going to be talking about budget-friendly knives around $100 and below. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about budget-friendly knives. Now the knives that I'm going to be showing you today are a small example of all the knives that we have here at the Knife Shop and Survival Outpost. We have thousands of knives, so you have the ability to come in, get with one of our staff members, and we will help you get set up on a knife that is in your budget and will serve your needs. So if you are looking for a specific knife, come by and check us out, and we'll be more than happy to show you and help you get in that knife or that weapon that you need for your next survival or your next adventure outdoors. So, let's talk knives. The first knife, and I'm going to start with the most budget friendly, and I'm going to move up from there. Now, we have knives that are very, very expensive, $300 and $400 knives. I want to keep it around $100 and below, because that's about what our budget could be for a good survival knife, okay? I understand that sometimes you might only have $10 or $12, $13 to buy a survival knife, and I want to show you knives that will be in that price range so you can get a good knife and not have to worry when you go out into the woods. Now, every one of these knives I would trust and would carry in the woods. So the first knife I want to talk about is Moore-Caneve. Now, Moore-Caneve is a good bushcraft knife, a good multi-purpose camp knife, and a good all-around just good knife. That's all I can say about it. Moore-Caneve has been around for over 150 years. The basic, which is our most budget-friendly Moore-Caneve that we have, comes in carbon steel and stainless steel. So you can sharpen your spine and be able to throw sparks off of it with a ferro rod. It does have a nice finger choil right there to keep you from sliding forward, so if your hands get wet. And you could do almost any outdoor task with this one knife, from batoning small, and you're not going to baton anything huge, but batoning small items to make firewood, to cleaning and processing game. So as a good multi-purpose knife for the woods, and you could use it in a suburb setting, an urban setting, or even in your city setting, rural setting, and wilderness setting, or a givey. But in those three settings, you could use this knife here, but understand it's not designed to pry with. It is not designed for real hard, rugged use in those settings, but it would work. You could use it as a defensive weapon if you needed to, but it would work in those areas. The next knife I want to talk about is by Hen and Rooster. Now this right here is another good budget-friendly knife. It's a little bit smaller, and I'm showing you a few different sizes of knives too, because in some areas you're not allowed to carry a knife that is too long. So in Tennessee, we carry pretty much what we want to. But I wanted to show you this knife because it has a paddle holster. So if you keep this in a bug out bag, you can actually take the paddle and clip it over your belt, and you're not having to take your belt off. It is a very nice blade, stainless steel. And I grabbed the bright orange because in a survival situation, whenever it's a natural disaster or something, you want to be able to have high vis so you can see your tools. Now this is a little bit thicker blade than the Moore-Caneve. Again, all these will work in any of the zones. So you're going to be able to do a little bit more prying, but not a ton. But you can do your fine carving. You can use it as a defensive knife if you need to. You can do just about anything with this knife that you can with any of the others. But this is by Hen and Rooster. All right, the next one is another Hen and Rooster, and this one's a bigger knife. I grabbed this one because I've sold people tons of these. It does come with a nice little leather sheath, but what I like about this knife is the blade size. You see how thick this blade is? This would work in any environment very well. Plus, you have tie-out points. You have 2 lanyard holes here. You have one in the bottom. So you can lash this on something, a stick, very easily and make a spear. Also, you have very grippy G10 handles, so it's not going to slip out of your hand easy. Now, all 3 of these knives that I just showed you are under $50 each. So understand, great quality knife, great budget on it too. Again, stainless steel blade, so it's not going to rust. You don't have to worry about having to worry about it rusting up on you and you having to keep it oiled in that survival situation. The next one is another one that is a really nice, good multi-purpose knife, but really going to be more for your rural and your wilderness area, is going to be the Morikniv Kazpol. You have your Scandinavian grind. You can throw sparks. Nice rubberized handle, so it's good and grippy. And you also have your molded plastic sheath. Deep carry on it, so you're going to be able to like throw it in your pack. And again, I grabbed the high vis because this is one of those knives you throw in your pack, you keep in your bug out bag. When you need it, you can see it with the high vis. But good multi-purpose knife. Again, you've got your flat and your Scandi style grinds on it, so you're going to be able to do more fine carving tasks and more camp tasks with it. Now this is just a good multi-purpose knife. This is by Buck. Let me grab the sheath out of here. This is, I was checking the name, sorry guys. This is by Buck. This is just a good smaller knife. Now, nice nylon sheath, great carry, and I like the coloring of it. And even though I'm really big on high vis, if you're going gray man in an area, this one will blend very well where your Kazpol will stand out like a sore thumb. So understand that. Smaller knife, so it's easier concealable, thinner knife, but it's a good multi-area knife. It has a good grip to it, so if your hands get wet or anything, it's not going to slip real easy. So could you use it for a defensive knife? Yes. You're not going to be prying as much with it. So understand that in the urban and city areas and even in your suburb areas, if you have to pry on something, this really isn't the knife for that. This is going to be a good hunting knife, good camp knife. You can use it in those areas, but understand its limitations. All right, so the next knife. This is by Cold Steel. This is the SRK. Let me grab the sheath out. Sorry about that, guys. This is the SRK. This is an amazing knife. Now, if you want a good multi-purpose, multi-area knife, now we are in the above $50 knives. I want you to understand that, guys. You have the Velcro and the button, so you can hook it over your belt loop without having to take your belt off. Molded plastic sheath. It is reversible, so you can go left or right-handed with it. But look at the size of the blade. This is going to be a great fighting knife. You could pry with it with the thickness of the blade, but understand it gets a little thinner towards the tip. Rubberized handles, that's full tang, so it's not going to slip out of your hand at all. So this is a good all-around knife. This would be a knife that I would be more than happy to take from a city area all the way into the wilderness. This would work in all the zones and work very well. Now again, understand its limitations in different areas. It's a little bit bigger knife, so it's going to be harder to conceal if you're in a city area, but you can chop with it. You can use it as defensive. It has a good range of purposes. Another good knife that also has those good range of purposes, guys, is the SOG Seal Pup. Again, molded plastic sheath, Kydex style sheath that is reversible. Now this one has half serrations on it. Now a lot of people don't care for half serrations. I do, depending on the environment. Now if I'm in an urban environment and I'm needing a defensive weapon, serrations work great because they don't necessarily cut, they tear. So understand that knife for that environment, serrations are great. They're also great for cutting ropes, really good for cutting different kinds of twines and things like that very, very fast because you can saw. Now, again, Kydex style sheath, reversible, stainless steel blade, clips in nice, and you can carry it multiple ways. So that's one thing I like about this knife. Now, getting into the last knife I have here today, and again, we have tons of knives, is the Gerber Strong Arm. Now the reason why I grabbed this is because this is the knife that is in my go bag. It has rubberized handles, a very thick blade all the way down. So prying, fighting, carving, doing everything. This is a good all-in-one knife that I can use in just about any area from the city all the way to the wilderness. I can use it as a fighting knife. I can use it as a bushcraft or camp knife. Now it does have a fairly sharp spine that would be easily to be sharpened, and I should be able to throw sparks with a ferro rod with it. And being able to carry it any direction, left or right handed, makes it really handy. Plus you can carry it horizontal or vertical. It is a very versatile knife, and that's what I like about that. All right guys, so that is just a brief overview of 8 knives out of the thousands that we have here at the Knife Shop and Survival Outpost. And I want to say again guys, if you are looking for a good outdoors, survival, bushcraft, any kind of knife, we have it here. So come by, talk with one of our staff members, and we will be happy again guys, to get you in the knife that will do everything you need it to do, and at the price point that won't break the bank. Guys, I will see you on the next one. Get outside and have an adventure. Blessings.